Welcome to Game Day with Hick the Stick for week 9 of the college football season. Fall is here, it is November, and just in a couple weeks we'll have the first college football rankings. But as you can see, I'm in a new place, mostly because my family kicked me out of the house. But you know, a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, and I gotta make this video. And this week, the Pac-12 is back. So all of the Power 5 is finally back. It's going to be interesting to see if the Pac-12 can actually make the college football playoffs starting so late in November. Also, is the Big 12, are they all the way out of the college football playoffs? We'll talk a little bit about that this week. Well, last week I went 8-3, making my total predictions for this year 55 games right and 18 games wrong. We had some big upsets last week. Michigan State beat Michigan in the rivalry game. Oklahoma State lost to Texas. Then we had North Carolina lose to Virginia Tech. So some big teams keep losing. It'll be interesting to see what other teams might lose this week that we're not expecting.
First up, we have one of my favorite states, Arizona. Wonder why. But Arizona State versus USC.
We got Arizona State versus USC. USC is ranked and Arizona State is not. But we haven't seen either teams play this season, so really, we don't know what to expect in this game. Is USC really that good that they should be ranked? Is Arizona State maybe better than people think? This game could be very close at the end. And actually, you know what? It's been happening all season long. I'm calling an upset alert in this game. Do I hear the upset alert? Yes, we have the upset alert. Arizona State is going to beat USC in their first game of the season and knock them out of the rankings.
Second, we have Stanford versus Oregon.
Another Pac-12 game. We got Stanford versus Oregon. Oregon was oh so close last year to making the college football playoffs, but they lost some big games they needed to win. They also lost their quarterback, Justin Herbert, to the NFL. So, is Oregon as good as they were last year? Well, this week will prove to us if they are or if they're not as good as last year. But I really think they'll get the first win of the season and they will go 1-0.
Third, we have Oklahoma State versus Kansas State.
Oklahoma State lost their first game of the season last week to Texas, and Kansas State also lost last week. These two teams both have a great chance of winning the Big 12. But Oklahoma State is the only team that still has a chance to make the college football playoffs. But they will have to run the table and win the rest of their games and the Big 12 championship to make the playoffs. And that's going to be hard for them, but they have a chance if they can win the rest of the season. Kansas State is a tough team to beat, and Kansas State has a home game this week against Oklahoma State. This game could come down to the end, but I really see Oklahoma State bouncing back and getting the win over Kansas State. Sorry, Kansas State. I think your Big 12 chances is over.
Now we have Liberty versus Virginia Tech.
We got Liberty versus Virginia Tech. Liberty is now ranked. They're number 25 in the nation. But Virginia Tech, they're not a bad team. They've actually beat some pretty good teams this year. Liberty is undefeated, but I think that comes to an end this week. Do I hear the upset alert? Yes, Virginia Tech gets the upset over Liberty. Sorry, Liberty. It was fun for a while, but your undefeated season is over.
Now we have Michigan versus Indiana.
Michigan had a great first game of the season against Minnesota, but then they played their rival, Michigan State, and it came down the end, just like a rivalry game should. But Michigan State got the win over Michigan. Now Michigan is 1-1. Now they're playing Indiana, who is undefeated and wants to keep their undefeated season alive. But you know, Michigan, you know they have to be upset from losing that rivalry game because you want to win the rivalry game. But they have to forget about that. They have to bounce back this week against Indiana and try to do their best to get a W. And I really think they will. Michigan beats Indiana and ends Indiana's undefeated season. Now it's time for my quick picks of the week. I'm going to make 3 quick picks really quick. Our first game is Texas versus West Virginia. Texas beats West Virginia. Then we got Houston versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati gets the W. And our last game, we got Ohio State versus Rutgers. Ohio State beats Rutgers. That's my quick picks of the week.
Last, we have the Florida Gators versus the Georgia Bulldogs.
Now my game right before my game of the week, but this really could be the game of the week. We got Florida versus Georgia. We got Florida's offense versus Georgia's defense. Both teams only have 1 loss. They want to keep their college football playoff chances alive. And this week it matters if Georgia's defense can stop Florida's offense and if Florida's offense can beat Georgia's defense. Really, that's what we need to watch in this game. It could come down to the end, but I really think that Florida's offense will beat Georgia's defense and they'll get the W over Georgia.
Hick the Stick's game of the week is Clemson versus Notre Dame.
Now it's time for my game of the week. We got number 1, Clemson versus number 4, Notre Dame. It's the battle of the undefeated, and it is an ACC matchup. You know, Notre Dame has their star quarterback, but Clemson does not. Trevor Lawrence will not play in this game again this week. So Clemson will have to play without their star player again. And their freshman quarterback will have to step up and help Clemson keep their undefeated season alive. But it really depends how good Clemson's defense can play to stop Notre Dame's offense in this game. You know, this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. Make sure you watch this game. It's only one team can stay undefeated, and it really is who plays better offense in this game. Can Clemson get the win without their star quarterback, or does Notre Dame get the win and dethrone Clemson in the ACC? Nope. Clemson will figure out a way to get the W against Notre Dame. Clemson beats Notre Dame. Well, that's all I got here on Game Day with Hick the Stick. Remember, 250 subscribers and I will buzz cut my hair down to a number 1. I picked a lot of upsets this week. Hopefully they do not blow up in my face. Have a great college football Saturday.